and welcome to StarFox Explained. This is a channel that is dedicated to uncovering the intricacies of events, activities, issues and projects worldwide, with a particular focus on dynamic landscapes of Africa. In today's video, we'll be talking about a project which is on a planning stage in Uganda and Tanzania. This is the Tanga, Kilimanjaro-Arusha-Musoma SGR. Upset by costly logistical challenges between Dar es Salaam and Mombasa port, Kampala has been looking for alternative routes in the region. Can this route help Uganda overcome the challenges it faces? Will this project ever be realized given the new developments in the region, especially building of the Dam Mwanza SGR and also completion of the Kenya-Mombasa SGR in 2017? So welcome as we delve into this issue or into this project of Tanga, Kilimanjaro-Arusha-Musoma SGR. If it's your first time here, please consider subscribing to this channel. Watch other videos that you have done on different topics. Leave your comment, share, and also hit the notification bell so that whenever we upload a new video, you are notified. In 2011, there was an agreement between Tanzania and Uganda to upgrade the existing 400-kilometer railway from Tanga to Arusha and also construct 480 rail track from Arusha to Musoma port. Cargo en route to Kampala would then cross Lake Victoria through ship, and in a deal that was to cost $3.58 billion. The two countries were also to construct Mwambani port in Tanga and also expand Musoma dock and the new Kampala port at Bukasa area. The feasibility study and engineering design for the railway were completed in 2017, paving way for the establishment of this project. However, the government officials in the two countries did not specify the time frame for the project's implementation. Officials' cost breakdown for the project showed that the railway line would have cost $1.9 billion. Other linked projects such as Mwambani Port were to get $685 million, while Musoma Port was to get $72.6 million, and the new Kampala Port was to cost $320 million. In August 2023, Tanzania had engaged international consultant known as COWI to conduct engineering design for the existing railway section from Tanga to Arusha with a connection to serve the Kilimanjaro International Airport. COWI's assignment comprised of aerial mapping, geotechnical investigation, feasibility and environmental studies, preliminary design and alignment, bridges, rail systems, as well as stations, as well as preparation of the tender documents. In the same year, Tanzania contracted HP Golf from Germany to conduct the feasibility study and preliminary design for the Arusha-Musoma railway section to connect the line from Soda Ash Rich Ngaruka Basin in the northern Minjingu phosphate deposit along the Arusha-Dodoma highway. As we have said, this was to provide, the new SGR was to provide a new trade route, and it was coming as a result of Uganda being upset by the logistical challenges that they are experiencing between Dar es Salaam and Mombasa port. So with these challenges, they were looking for alternative routes in the region. The Ugandan officials were on record saying that the new route would reduce congestion at the key regional ports of Mombasa and Dar es Salaam. This is due to the fact that Tanga and Musoma ports would specifically handle cargo that was destined for Uganda and South Sudan. More interesting part of this project, according to the government officials, was that it would reduce congestion at the key regional ports of Mombasa and Dar es Salaam. Kampala has persistently cried that intolerable delays on the core transport corridors and low capacities of the two ports are the major factors behind the new searches for this new route. The Dar es Salaam route, for instance, remains unpopular among all marketers because it's longer than the traditional route through Kenya, while Mombasa port presents a bigger business opportunity for Uganda. They were ready to take advantage of Tanga port. Mombasa is 1,300 kilometers away from Kampala, and about 95% of Uganda exports and imports transit through this route, and partly 1% is being transported through Dar es Salaam, which is about 1,800 kilometers away. So this was the situation in 2017. Things might have changed, and that Dar es Salaam may be taking a higher load of this. However, 90% of the Kampala cargo on the route, Northern Corridor, Mombasa to Kampala, travels by road, and only 10% moves by rail, according to the World Bank. Tanga is the shortest route, as it is about 1,200 kilometers away from Kampala, and the business community would have favored water and railway transport that are much cheaper than air and road. While it costs about $2,000 to transport a 20-foot container from China to either Mombasa or Dar port, it costs about $3,000 to transport the same container from ports to Kampala, which makes the cost of doing business high. In contrast, it will cost between $750 to $1,000 to transport the same container through Tanga, Arusha-Musoma rail, and water to Bukasa port in Kampala, almost 4 times less. However, infrastructure deficit in the regions is still monumental, with the heads of state priority infrastructure alone requiring over $100 billion. The Tanga Kilimanjaro-Arusha-Musoma railway is planned line in Tanzania that would connect the port city of Tanga to the Indian Ocean in the inland cities of Kilimanjaro, Arusha, and Musoma on the shores of Lake Victoria. The project is still in the early stages of development, but it has potential to be a major boost to the Tanzanian economy as well as Uganda economy. There are several potential benefits to the construction of this line. The railway will provide more efficient and cost-effective way to transport goods from the port of Tanga to the inland regions of Tanzania and forward to Uganda. It would also help reduce congestion on the roads and highway. In addition, the railway will create jobs, boost economic development along the routes where it will be passing. However, there are some challenges that need to be addressed before the project can move forward. One challenge is the cost of the construction. The Tanzanian government will need to secure funding from international donors or private investors in order to build the railway. Another challenge is the environmental impact of the project. The railway will need to be built in a way that minimizes damage to the environment. Despite these challenges, the Tanga Kilimanjaro-Arusha-Musoma railway has the potential to be a transformative project for Tanzania as well as Uganda. It would improve transportation links, boost economic development, and create new jobs. The Tanzanian government is committed to moving forward with the project, and is hopeful to be able to secure funding it needs to make it a reality. This port is going to be financed by the private sector, and one of the preferred mode of building this project is the PPP model, public-private partnership. So the model that they have picked is design, build, finance, operate, and transfer. This means that the private company will be responsible for 1, designing the railway, building it, financing the construction of the railway line, operating the line for a concession period. This can typically be between 25 and 30 years, depending on the viability of this project. And then, after recouping the cost of building and maintaining this line, they will transfer the ownership of the railway line to the Tanzanian government at the end of this concession period. So this PPP model is often used for large infrastructure projects because it allows the government to access private sector expertise as well as financing. In the case of this project, the design, build, finance, operate and transfer model will help to ensure that the project is completed on time and within budget. So some of the advantages that this model will bring to this project, one is that it will reduce government spending, where the private sector will be responsible for the financing of this project. It will free up government funds for other priorities. Then there is potential for improved efficiency, where the private companies are often more efficient than government agencies at managing this type of projects. Then there is a likelihood of faster completion, where the model can help to accelerate the completion of the railway project. Then there is innovation, where the private companies can bring new technologies and ideas to the project. However, there are some challenges associated to this type of a model. One, we have high upfront cost. The private sector will need to be compensated for the upfront cost of financing and building the railway. This can lead to higher fares for those who will be using it. Then there is transfer of risk, where the government will need to be careful in managing risk which are associated with this project, and these risks are such as the company which is building this line going bankrupt. Then there is an issue of transparency and accountability. It is important to ensure that this model is transparent and accountable, so that the public can benefit and be confident that the project is going to be delivered in a fair and equitable manner. So design, build, finance, operate, transfer PPP model is a viable option for financing this project. However, it is important to carefully consider the advantages and challenges of this model before making a decision. So now let's look at the viability of this project in line of completion of other projects that perhaps will be seen as competing. We have the Dar es Salaam Mwanza SGR, as well as Kenya SGR, which runs from Mombasa port through Nairobi and then proceeds to Kisumu and to Uganda. The viability of this project in light of existing and railway which has been planned is a complex issue, and it has no simple answers. It depends on a variety of factors. One, we have demand, where cargo they need to think whether the cargo will be sufficient to have this line, given that we have existing options such as Kenya SGR as well as Dar Mwanza SGR, which is being constructed. So factors like trade patterns, regional development, and also efficiency gains compared to existing routes we need to be considered. On the passengers, one question that will need to be asked is that can the railway attract enough passengers to be profitable? So this will depend on factors such as travel time, cost, comfort, connectivity to key destination. Then there is the issue of cost and financing, where we need to ask ourselves, can the project be built at cost that follows competitive tariffs and profitability? So financing options and the risk allocation between the public and private sector will need to be considered. On the issue of operation, the question is, can the railway be operated efficiently to keep costs low and maintain competitiveness? Then there is the aspect of competition that is from the Kenya SGR as well as the Dar Mwanza SGR once it's completed. So the question here is that how will the new line compete with the existing Kenya SGR for cargo and passenger traffic? Can it offer unique advantages like shorter routes, specialized services, or integration with other transport networks? The same case to Dar Mwanza SGR. How will the planned line impact? How will the Dar Mwanza SGR impact the traffic of this potential line? can they coexist and complement each other, or will they be direct competitors? So these are questions that the company which will be coming in to build this line will be asking. So other factors like government support, the investor will ask, is the Tanzania government committed to the project and willing to provide the necessary support in terms of policy, regulations, and also infrastructure development? Also, the question of regional integration will come up. Can the railway be integrated with other transport networks and regional development plans to create a wider economic impact? And then there is the big question of environmental and social consideration. Can the project be built and operated in an environmentally and socially responsible manner, minimizing negative impacts on communities as well as ecosystem? So to maneuver this, there will be need for creative consideration where the line can specialize. And the question here is that could the railway focus on specific cargo types or niche markets to avoid direct competition with these two existing lines? Then can the railway be effectively integrated with other transport modes like road, air to offer seamless multimodal solutions? And also, can the project embrace new technologies like automation, renewable energy, or smart logistics to improve efficiency and competitiveness? So ultimately, the viability of this line will depend on comprehensive assessment of these factors and a clear vision for its role in the region transportation landscape. A thorough feasibility study that considers all aspects including competition from existing and planned railways is crucial before making any final decision. So there was a feasibility study that has been done in 2017, and relying on this feasibility study which was conducted in 2017, that is about 7 years ago, might not be prudent in light of significant changes in the region transportation landscape since then. We have had the construction of the Dar Mwanza line, which is in various stages. The first phase is almost complete and will start operation. The second phase has also made some progress. So are the other phases. Before, when this feasibility was done, Kenya had not started operation of its line. So these are changes that have taken place, and so many other changes that have taken place. And regional development issues. There has been shift in trade patterns, economic growth in specific regions, and this means that the data that we're dealing with, if it's the one that is being used to make a decision, the 2017 feasibility study, this can be referred as outdated data. So transport costs, construction prices, and technological advancement, they change rapidly. So using outdated data can lead to inaccurate estimate and potentially unrealistic profitability predictions. Market trends and also consumer preferences evolve over time. So passenger and cargo traffic assumptions based on 2017 assessment might not reflect the current reality. There might also be some changes in policy and regulatory frameworks. Government policies, regulations, and incentives related to transportation and infrastructure might have changed since the study was conducted. So these changes could impact the project feasibility and require adjustment to the initial plan. Therefore, if Tanzania and Uganda rely on 2017 feasibility study, this would be risky. However, it can still be a valuable source for providing baseline information, while the study that was done in 2017 can offer insights into the initial project concept, technical specification, as well as potential benefits. It can also be used for historical context, where it can be helpful in understanding the evolution of the project and the rationale behind the development. It can provide comparative data where some aspects like population figures, geographical features, and also existing infrastructure might remain relevant and provide starting point for further analysis. To make informed decisions about the project viability in today's context, it is crucial to conduct an updated feasibility study consider the impact of existing and planned railways, as well as explore alternative scenarios where different traffic volumes, private strategies, and also operational models should be evaluated to assess the project robustness given these conditions. Why is an up-to-date feasibility study essential for this line? First, it addresses the changes that have taken place in terms of competition, in terms of strategic positions, and also potential partnership that can be formed. As you have said, data that was collected can be useful in making estimates and also understanding the current demand as well as advancement which have been made. It can also help in aligning with the current policies, can give confidence and also ensure sustainability. So in essence, this Tanga, Kilimanjaro-Arusha-Musoma railway has the potential to transform both Uganda and Tanzania through contributing to economic growth, regional integration, but another up-to-date assessment is necessary to navigate through the complexity of the evolving transportation sector and also make informed decisions for the project implementation. So thank you for coming this far. Leave a comment about this project. What are your thoughts? Also, you can watch other videos that you have done on SGR projects in Tanzania as well as in Kenya, and tell us what you think about this project. So thank you for reaching this far. If it's your first time here, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel. Watch others that you have done.